You won't believe what just went down in Season 9, Episode 24. Matt walked out on Jasmine like she was yesterday's news. And he didn't just leave. He's already flaunting a new girlfriend. Right in front of cameras, he smiled, packed his stuff, and made it clear he was done. Every warning sign, every suspicion Jasmine had exploded into reality in the cruelest way possible. Jasmine's world turned upside down in seconds. The woman who trusted, loved, and fought for this relationship was left staring at the cold truth. And instead of retreating, she did the unthinkable. She ran back to Gino, begging him to forgive her, to take her back. But Gino's reply cut deeper than any betrayal. He told her the words every fan feared, the words that confirmed her misjudgments. He said she never truly loved him. Now the questions start piling up. Why did Matt cheat? Was it a moment of weakness or a calculated escape? Did Jasmine ignore the signs because she wanted the relationship to survive? Or did she really misread him from the start? And most importantly, how do you even begin to pick up the pieces when your heartbreak is being filmed, dissected, and shared with millions in real time? The tension isn't just emotional, it's public. Imagine the humiliation. 1 minute, your private life feels secure, and the next, it's out there for everyone to witness. Every fan comment, every social media post, every whispered conversation online becomes another weight on her shoulders. She's trapped between her private devastation and the very public spectacle of her failed relationships. So here's the first big question for you. How does Jasmine cope with this level of shock? How do you survive when betrayal, regret, and social scrutiny hit all at once? Her next moves aren't just dramatic. They could change everything about how we see her story unfold. And if you think this is the worst of it, wait. Because what she does next might shock even the most loyal 90-Day Fiancé fans. Before the world saw the betrayal, the warning signs were already there, if you knew where to look. Matt didn't change overnight. He became distant, constantly on his phone, stepping away during filming for personal calls, and brushing off Jasmine's questions like she was overreacting. Off camera, insiders say he was secretive, deleting messages and avoiding explanations. Every little lie, every sudden excuse, built a wall between them. And Jasmine could feel it. She's not naive. She noticed the small things. The way his smiles didn't reach his eyes. The way he seemed miles away even when he was sitting next to her. Jasmine tried to confront him multiple times. She asked pointed questions, checked inconsistencies, and even tried to decode his late-night social media activity. It wasn't paranoia, it was instinct. Her emotional intelligence was telling her something was off, but Matt's calm detachment made her doubt herself. Reality. TV doesn't make this easier. Cameras are always rolling, crew members hovering, and every private moment has the potential to become public. The pressure magnifies minor arguments, and stress becomes a magnifying glass for insecurities. Being filmed turns suspicion into performance anxiety and honesty into a high-stakes gamble. Fans watching at home may have missed it, but insiders say there were multiple almost moments where Jasmine nearly caught him in a lie before episode 24. There were hints of secret meetings, hidden texts, and unexplained absences. You can almost see it in retrospect. Matt's behavior was building a house of cards, and the slightest breeze would topple it all. So here's the big question. Was anyone else aware of Matt's plans? Was the crew, production, or even close friends picking up on his detachment before the public confrontation? There are whispers, subtle signs, but nothing confirmed. And that's what makes the final confrontation so explosive. Every skipped answer, every shrugged-off comment, every half-truth added tension like a ticking bomb. Jasmine's intuition was right on the mark, but could she have done anything differently to stop it? Or was the betrayal inevitable? The moment she finally saw the messages, the tension exploded in a way that left the crew scrambling and viewers gasping. And the fallout? It's going to be even more intense than you think. It all came to a head when Jasmine accidentally glimpsed Matt's messages. What she saw wasn't just flirtatious texts. It was a pattern of intimate conversations, photos, and travel plans with another woman. Everything she had suspected, every uneasy feeling, slammed into her in one moment. On camera, you could see her body stiffen, her voice catch, her eyes widen with disbelief. The betrayal wasn't just shocking, it was undeniable. When she confronted Matt, the energy in the room shifted instantly. Jasmine was raw, trembling with a mix of anger, hurt, and confusion. Every word she spoke carried the weight of months of misplaced trust. She wanted answers, she wanted apologies, and above all, she wanted the truth. Matt's response? Cold calmness, almost unnervingly composed. He didn't deny it, he didn't apologize. He admitted everything with a detached air, like he was ticking off items on a checklist. The contrast was brutal. Jasmine, unfiltered and emotional, facing a partner who seemed unbothered by the wreckage he caused. The cameras captured it all, the sharp words, the silent pauses, the trembling hands, the sharp intake of breath. Every reaction magnified the emotional stakes. Jasmine's heartbreak was on full display, and the public was about to witness every second of it. But it wasn't just about her. This was the point where private betrayal collided with reality TV scrutiny. Every glance, every tear, every whispered why was now content for millions to dissect online. And the fallout? Social media exploded. Fans were divided, memes spread like wildfire, and commentary threads analyzed every tiny gesture. Matt's cold detachment made some viewers furious, while others were just glued to the drama, unable to look away. Jasmine wasn't just dealing with a personal betrayal, she was facing the pressure of public judgment at the same time. So the question now hangs in the air. How will Jasmine recover from this exposure, both emotionally and socially? Can she even begin to process the shock while the world is watching? Every heart-wrenching moment is only setting the stage for the next stage of chaos, and what comes next could push her to her limits in ways no one saw coming. And if you think this confrontation was intense, wait until you see how her next steps and the fans' reactions turn this heartbreak into a full-blown spectacle. As soon as the episode aired, social media blew up. Fans were furious, shocked, and completely obsessed. Every post, every comment, every meme dissected Jasmine's heartbreak and Matt's audacity. The pressure wasn't just online chatter, it became a real, tangible weight on her shoulders. Every notification, every trending hashtag reminded her that the world was watching her pain. Jasmine's mental state started spiraling. Anxiety set in, humiliation took over, and she began questioning every choice she had made. Did she misread Matt from the start? Was she too trusting, too blind, too invested? The public scrutiny amplified her private despair. Even small interactions with friends or crew felt charged, like the world was judging every reaction, every tear, every attempt at composure. Meanwhile, Matt was doing the opposite of hiding. He flaunted his new relationship subtly online. Late-night posts, cryptic captions, and pictures that hinted at romantic outings. Each post seemed calculated, as if he wanted to remind Jasmine and the world that he had already moved on. The contrast couldn't have been starker. One partner exposed, raw, unraveling, and the other moving forward publicly without a second thought. And here's the question hanging over everything. How does this public attention worsen Jasmine's emotional state? When your heartbreak is trending, when strangers dissect your every move, how do you even start to heal? The emotional stakes are higher than ever, and the intensity of fan reactions makes her personal devastation impossible to ignore. As the social media storm rages, Jasmine starts thinking about Gino, the one person who once represented stability and trust. Could reaching out to him offer relief? Or will it just open another wound she's not ready to face? After Matt's betrayal and the social media storm, Jasmine's thoughts kept circling back to Gino. She remembered what she once had. Someone who offered stability, affection, and trust. In a tearful and desperate attempt, she reached out. Multiple calls, texts, and voice messages poured out of her, each one dripping with regret. She admitted mistakes, acknowledged her misjudgments, and pleaded for a chance to make amends. You could feel her vulnerability in every word. Her raw need for connection after being abandoned judged, and humiliated. This wasn't about manipulation or ego. It was about someone trying to reclaim a piece of their life that felt lost. Jasmine's regret was deep, her desperation palpable. She replayed every memory with Gino, realizing that leaving him might have been her biggest mistake. In that moment, viewers could empathize with her human vulnerability. She was searching for redemption, a way to fix what seemed irreparably broken. But the harder she reached, the more reality pressed down. Gino's response was calm but firm. He acknowledged her words, but made it clear there was no path forward. His message was emotionally final. He didn't believe she had truly loved him, and the actions that hurt him could not be undone. There was no second chance, no room for negotiation. The difference between Jasmine seeking redemption and facing reality was striking. One was driven by emotion, hope, and the longing to reclaim what was lost. The other was grounded in principle, hurt, and the finality of broken trust. This contrast hit hard, not just for Jasmine, but for everyone watching. The weight of rejection compounded her already fragile state. She wasn't just heartbroken over Matt anymore. She was now grappling with the cold reality that some doors, once closed, do not reopen. So the question lingers, will Jasmine ever find a way to emotionally recover from the double blow of betrayal and rejection? The answer isn't simple, and as the next episodes unfold, the emotional consequences of these events will continue to ripple through her life in ways that are painful, public, and impossible to ignore. After the double blow of Matt's betrayal and Gino's rejection, Jasmine slipped into a state of deep isolation. She withdrew from cast members, avoided crew interactions, and spent long hours alone, replaying every decision she had made, every message, every text, every memory of happier times with both men became a loop in her mind she couldn't escape. It wasn't just heartbreak, it was a mental treadmill of regret and self-questioning amplified by cameras capturing her every move. Psychologists often talk about how betrayal and public exposure multiply emotional trauma. And Jasmine was living proof. Being heartbroken is one thing, but being heartbroken on a stage where millions are watching turns personal pain into performance pressure. Anxiety crept in, insomnia followed, and even basic routines like eating or speaking became emotionally charged. Every social media mention of Matt, every comment about Gino, and every fan reaction felt like a fresh cut, reminding her that the world was observing her grief in real time. Her reflection became obsessive. She analyzed every moment she had, misjudged Matt. Every instance she had underestimated the consequences of leaving Gino. Even small missteps felt monumental. And the longer she stayed in this state, the more difficult it became to regain any sense of control. The cameras didn't stop, the fans didn't stop, and her mind kept running circles, measuring every action against the pain of what she had lost. The tension was escalating, anxiety was building, sleepless nights were stacking, and social scrutiny acted like a constant drumbeat, reminding her of her failures and vulnerabilities. Every small reminder of Matt flaunting his new life online worsened her emotional spiral. She wasn't just heartbroken anymore. She was trapped in a storm of personal grief, public judgment, and relentless reflection. So the big question now, can Jasmine ever regain control over her life after everything she's lost and endured? And if you think the storm is over, Matt's continued provocative behavior online is about to make this emotional roller coaster even more intense. While Jasmine struggled in private, Matt seemed to live in a completely different reality. He posted late-night pictures, shared subtle hints of romantic outings, and let glimpses of his new relationship slip into social media, almost like clockwork. It wasn't just casual flaunting, it was strategic. Each post amplified the contrast between his freedom and Jasmine's turmoil, and fans immediately noticed. Every picture, every caption, every like from his new girlfriend was another reminder of the emotional divide that now defined their worlds. This wasn't only about jealousy or heartbreak, it was about power dynamics. One partner was publicly moving on, displaying control and agency over their life, while the other was trapped in emotional chaos under the scrutiny of fans and cameras. Matt's actions created a social imbalance, A subtle but very real statement. He had left the past behind, and Jasmine was still living in it. This disparity made her private suffering feel even more exposed because the contrast wasn't theoretical, it was literal, and millions were watching. Fans reacted instantly. Outrage poured in at Matt's audacity, sympathy flooded in for Jasmine, and the drama escalated with every post. Social media turned into a public arena where followers dissected each interaction, debated morality, and speculated endlessly on the next move. The emotional tension was so high that viewers weren't just watching a heartbreak, they were watching a social experiment unfold in real time, where the imbalance of power and emotional exposure created a pressure cooker of suspense and engagement. And here's the lingering question. How far will this divide between them go? Can the chasm of betrayal, public exposure, and new beginnings be bridged? Or is it only going to grow wider? Every post Matt makes, every reaction Jasmine has, every social media debate adds another layer of tension. The stakes are escalating, and the outcome is anything but predictable. As the public scrutiny intensifies and private pain deepens, something unexpected is about to shake Jasmine's world even further. A twist that could change everything we've seen so far and push her emotional journey into completely uncharted territory. At this stage, the story isn't just about heartbreak. It's a case study in human behavior under extreme pressure. Matt's actions show patterns we've seen before in relationships marked by betrayal. Emotional distance, secrecy, strategic displays of new attachments, and an apparent lack of accountability. Jasmine's reactions, on the other hand, reveal the complexity of coping when private pain becomes public. She oscillates between confronting reality, replaying mistakes, and seeking reconciliation, all while the world watches. It's important to focus on behavior over identity. This isn't about labeling anyone as good or bad. It's about examining how decisions, actions, and reactions ripple through relationships. Betrayal often creates a power imbalance where one person gains social control and perceived freedom, while the other grapples with exposure, shame, and the unpredictability of public judgment. Understanding this dynamic can make the difference between empathy and simply judging someone's emotional response. The tension escalates because everyone involved is on a public stage. Jasmine's emotional unraveling, Matt's flaunting, and the fan reactions all interact in ways that amplify stress and psychological strain. Being scrutinized intensifies emotions, magnifying regret, guilt, and heartbreak. Observing these patterns raises reflective questions for viewers. How would you handle betrayal under constant watch? How do people find stability when private turmoil is on display for millions? Another layer to consider is the coping mechanisms. Jasmine attempts to regain control by reaching out, seeking closure, and processing her feelings in isolation. Matt's approach seems calculated, emphasizing autonomy and social signaling. Both reveal different strategies under pressure, but the outcomes create a dramatic imbalance that continues to unfold. Could there be redemption or closure for Jasmine? Can trust be rebuilt in any form? Or is this emotional trajectory destined to spiral further? And if you think the storm has reached its peak, the next part promises escalation that will push everyone involved into situations even more intense and unpredictable.